What's up, everybody? Well, I got another $400 gaming PC gameplay video for you guys today. And today, we're going to check ourselves out with some Death Stranding 2 on the beach. Well, as soon as it's done downloading anyway. And then I think I'm done for the night. I wanted to get done with all this tonight, but it's already almost 4:30. And by the time I'm done with this, it probably will be. But that's okay. Well, hopefully the freaking storm doesn't ruin things, but as long as I can get it downloaded before the storm knocks out power to charter or something. Because I can have all the power I want, but that's not going to make my internet work. And I would just use Verizon, but if I use more than 24 gigs, they charge me. You want to know how much per gig extra it is? It was $43 every gig you go over. And I mean, I could obviously afford that, but that's more the principle. Fuck that. That's outrageous for the same exact internet that I'm using on mobile. It's not like it transforms into other internet. I know why they do it though, because if they didn't do that, then everybody would just go and get that and use it as home internet and bog down the system and make it suck. So I get it, but they should just be more honest about it. But anyway, I have to wait for this to download. Luckily you don't. So we will hop on into the settings. So first we're going to be a little silly and try some ray tracing, which I wouldn't really recommend doing unless you're okay with like 20, 30 FPS. And that's in this area. I guarantee it's going to be lower than that when you get to the more harder to run areas. Unless this is one of the hardest to run areas, but I severely doubt that. But hey, let's stop blabbing and let's hop in and let's see what it can do.
Let's head home before it gets dark. Wow. I feel that. Damn shaky. Shaking pretty bad.
Now we'll try the same thing with some DLSS. And we can at least stay over 30, probably most of the time. There could be some spots that's not true in the game, of course, but at least in this area, I do believe we at least stayed over 30 now, but 60 plus, no dice. At least not yet. I don't think this thing's actually capable of doing that unless you're like willing to really turn down the settings and the upscaling down. But anyway, let's get to the game.
Let's head home before it gets dark. I feel that. Pretty damn shaky. Oh shit.
So now we'll go ahead and do some more native gameplay here. We're going to turn off ray tracing and just run high preset, which definitely does a little bit better. I think we stay over 30 FPS with this, but if you're looking for 60 plus, it still is not happening. But all right, back to the game.
Let's head home before it gets dark. I feel that. Damn shaky.
So now for some upscaling, we did balanced and then high preset. And in some spots we can get close to 60 now, but still no cigar, unfortunately. But at least we stay away from like 30 FPS and dropping under, at least in this area anyway. Alright though, let's get into the game.
head home before it gets dark. Feel that. Damn shaky.
So here's pretty much the best I could do for settings without making it look extraordinarily bad. By like just putting everything on low. And even that didn't really get us in 60 FPS everywhere, unfortunately. So I figured, alright, screw it. If I can't have 60 everywhere no matter what, then I might as well try to get close to it while still looking okay. And I think we did an alright job, but could not get you guys 60 FPS with this PC. At least not with making it look good. Maybe I could have if I did like ultra performance, everything on low, and put it to portable. That might do it, but I don't think it would look very good. But anyway, let's hop into the game.
Head home before it gets dark. I feel that. Damn shaky.
Well, alright. Let's get ourselves a little camcorder gameplay. And just like the other systems, I want to do a quick little load test. It does go pretty quick. But unfortunately on this system, it seems like it's a little too long in the tooth to get you 60 all the time. So, if you just want over 30, you're golden. But if you're a 60 plus kind of guy, I wouldn't recommend this kind of game on this kind of system. But since it is just like a kind of a chill game, I mean, I think if I remember correctly, you do shoot at things and whatnot a little bit. But for the most part, you're running around like this. So I feel like most people would probably be okay with this. But not the people that are 60 plus or die. They would look at this and go, wow, this PC is a pile of garbage. I'd never be caught dead with this. And And in fact, I'm pretty sure this is one of those games where even the base model PS5 beats out my 3080. Because that thing was doing 1440p and my 3080 still couldn't even do 1080p at high, 60. Unless it's doing upscaling as well, but it said it was native 1440p on the base model, so I think that's one of those situations where optimization does actually, in fact, win over brute force. Because this thing should be just about as powerful as a PS5, GPU-wise, and the CPU is more powerful. But that thing was getting 60. And as you can see, we are not getting 60. Though it also could have had some lower than lowest PC settings for all I know. But this thing's also $400. But then again, you could also probably go get a $250 PS5 used, just like this thing is used. So no matter how you cut it, I think consoles win in these kinds of games. Unless you do spend a lot of money. If you spend the money, the PC will always win. But there's definitely a point where if you try to save money and match the console's price, then you kind of are left with less than stellar performance.
I feel that.
Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. And the only way you can win is if you compare used to new. It's shitty, but that's just how it is in this particular game. There's lots of other games that they can't even play because it's just not on console. But for games like this, I think they got the win, unfortunately. But then there's other games where this thing beats it out, so it completely depends on the game.
Okay, you're all right.
And I'm kind of curious what the used market's going to be like. Like now you can get used stuff pretty good. But now that the PS5 Pro is going up to $900,
Let's go home and get
and the other one's $600 for the cheapest, I don't know. You would imagine that the used ones would also go up in price too, making something like this even more valuable. But I will say, at least frame time's very smooth. It's not a super stuttery game, at least in this particular area. Maybe it gets stuttery later, but it seems pretty damn smooth in the frame time department.
Great. Rain. Got him low.
Ah, here comes that evil rain again.
Almost there.
And alright, I'd say with that, we can go wrap up.
Well, alright everybody, that is a wrap for Death Stranding 2 on the beach on the $400 PC. And while it's definitely playable, for those who don't care about 60 FPS, we couldn't even hit a constant 60 in this game. I even tried putting everything on low, and it just won't do it. So I don't know what's going on with that. I mean, it would get over 60 a lot, but there's still certain spots where it was getting pretty close to dropping, and it looked pretty terrible on low. So that was really the only chance. Run everything on low, and you can usually stay above 60, but it looked so shitty I just didn't feel like doing it. But using reasonable settings like high and medium and all that stuff, we still couldn't even do it, even with DLSS's help on performance. So, unfortunately, if you're 60 plus only, I would skip it. Although, most people that are 60 plus only probably wouldn't be going for a $400 used PC anyway. They'd probably be going for a brand new PS5 Pro or like a brand new $1,000 pre-built PC or something like that. This is more for the people that just kind of want to save some money, don't mind buying used, taking a risk. You can still get a really nice PC like this. This is still great, but it's still probably better off used for older AAA titles and whatnot at this point. Unless you're okay with not getting 60 in every single one of them, then the sky's the limit. It's up to you. But anyway, that is all for this particular video. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, because I sure as hell enjoyed making it for you guys. And I still can't peace out with that hand properly, so a left-handed peace out it will be. And until the next video.